Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a word we all think we know, fiction. We're going to start with a super simple definition, but you'll see it leads to a much bigger idea about how we all communicate. Let's get into it.
So if you go and look up the word fiction in a place like the Simple English Wiktionary, you're going to find pretty much what you'd expect, right? It's about stuff that was made up, things that aren't true. It's simple, it's clear, no real surprises there.
And just to really hammer the point home, the source gives us this perfect little example sentence. The events in that story did not happen, so it is fiction. It's a totally straightforward concept, and they use a totally straightforward sentence to explain it. Okay, but this is where it starts to get really interesting. Because tucked away on that exact same page is this strange little note. It says that the word fiction is on the Basic English 850 list. Now, you just don't see that in a typical dictionary entry, do you? It's a clue. A sign that there's a much bigger idea at play here than just defining one little word.
And that, of course, brings us to the big question, the one that really unlocks this whole thing. What on earth is the Basic English 550 list?
So, let's decode the BE850. This isn't just a random list of words. Oh no, it's a whole system, a really fascinating and deliberate approach to language that was designed for one very specific reason: to make communication simple and clear for everybody. And at the very heart of this entire system is this number, 850. That's it. It's a carefully chosen core vocabulary that's designed to be just enough to express almost any idea you can think of. Okay, so here's the crucial thing to get. The Basic English 850 list is not about dumbing down the language. Not at all. It's about building a really powerful foundation. Think of it like a toolkit of 850 essential words picked specifically to help people learn and to make international communication way easier. And as we saw, it's the engine running behind resources like this Simple English Wiktionary, turning complex stuff into something anyone can understand. All right, so now that we've got the backstory on this system, let's go all the way back to our original word, fiction, and look at it with new eyes. You're about to see how its dictionary entry is actually a perfect masterclass in how this whole thing works. First off, just look at the definition itself, a story that is invented instead of being based on facts. Notice the words they use? Every single one is simple and direct. There's no jargon, no confusing academic language. It just uses that core vocabulary to get the point across as efficiently as possible. Now here's where it gets really smart. The entry doesn't just define what fiction is, it immediately tells you what it isn't by giving you the opposite, nonfiction. You've got invented story on one side and based on facts on the other. This simple little pairing just creates a rock-solid understanding by drawing a super clear line in the sand. It's genius, really. And it doesn't even stop there. The system shows you how to build on that core word. By listing related terms like fictitious and fictional, it's actually teaching you how the language works. It lets you expand your understanding out from that simple 850-word base. And finally, get this. Even the pronunciation guide is designed for total accessibility. It uses the International Phonetic Alphabet, which is basically a universal key that helps anyone from anywhere on the planet learn exactly how to say the word. Every single piece of this entry is built for maximum clarity.
So why does any of this matter? Well, this was never just about one word. It's about a whole philosophy. A philosophy about global communication and about making knowledge available to as many people as humanly possible.
And this right here, this shows you just how big this idea really is. The Wiktionary entry points you right over to the Simple English Wikipedia. It shows that this whole principle of using Basic English isn't just for single-word definitions. It extends to entire encyclopedias, all working toward that same incredible goal. So, the big takeaway from all this is the unbelievable power you can find in simplicity. Systems like Basic English, they're not about losing meaning or nuance. They're about building bridges. They make information accessible to so many more people, they give learners a solid foundation to stand on, and they prove, without a doubt, that you can be crystal clear without sacrificing what you want to say.
So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. In our world, which is just overflowing with complicated information and jargon and noise, what's one thing in your life, your work, maybe something you're passionate about, what's one thing that you could explain more simply? What knowledge could you unlock for someone else?